Welcome to the freewheeling cascade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing. Oh, hey folks, Dude here again, yet another iteration of Dude After Dark, this one of course being a special occasion of Tuesday. I always do it on Tuesday. So I'm going to scroll through my stack of stuff, as it were, get myself all squared away, and we will move out smartly. And man, this has been an unbelievably fat news week. And I'm really not going to get into the whole, Georgia versus Donald Trump versus freedom of speech and all the rest of this happy falderall, but let's just say, even in the office of president, dude has the freedom of speech to go, you know what? Thor's hammer. I think it's not right what happened. And I'm not going to say left, right, center, whatever the heck happened. I'm just simply saying, dude is allowed to speak his mind, okay? Beyond the fact that, him expressing his opinion is protected speech. So Georgia denying him multiple iterations of his constitutional rights, it's not good juju what they're doing. So let me scroll. Confirm thusly that I am speaking about the proper timeline therein, and move out and good stuff like that there. Keep myself going, and yes, okay, so I'm now back at the snuff. Good stuff like that there, and I can report in some very interesting turnabout that's probably going to be potentially some good fair play. If you guys don't know about the phrase, there's a couple of phrases called DEI and ESG. So let me just get it to you from the Uber's mouth what this actually means. So DEI is actually a component therein of the Human Rights Campaign. The guys that basically have the blue background with the two yellow slashes, the equal sign. And that actually stands for diversity, equality, and inclusion. Now the thing about it is if you happen to be a person who's working in the United States, you are so far ahead of the game to begin with. It is not even close to the mark of saying that you're being held back by the obvious inclusion stricken from your very existence. Try to say that you're going to get very good DEI in like the worst components of scruffy areas of Africa. Probably just going to have some tin pot warlord who will just promptly take you out back and zap you for no good reason other than, well, he just didn't like you that particular day. Just give me 1 second here. Fresh, hot Tigger juice. Oh, cannot beat it. And then, of course, you have the other component, which is ESG. And that is actually something very noisome, very, very insidious, and something that really, truly needs to be regulated. It needs to have some RICO action upon it, and it needs to be further stomped on with both feet by the federal government. It has no way, shape, or form in any instance of basic community business operations, corporate loans, could be said, day-to-day operating expenses, because your standard corporation does not have huge liquidity. I mean, it's all tied up in stocks, it's all tied up in investments, it's tied up into other things along the lines of they just don't have a lot of cash floating around. So when it comes time for them to do a production run, they go, oh snap, we need XYZ amount of cash. Let's go to bank, blah, blah, blah. And bank, blah, blah, blah will float us a loan until such time that we have built up the equity to the point that we now can pay for the loan that we've gotten. Great review. Appreciate you coming in, reporting from the musket ball assembly line. Okay. I think I know what kind of musket balls you're loading there. They're probably swatted in some, swadding in some dirty linen, shall we say. He's got a couple of chain fire cannons going off at once, shall we say. Well, anyway, the ESG component is environmental, social, and corporate governance also known as environmental, social, and governance, is a set of aspects concerning when investing in companies that recommends taking environmental issues, social issues, and corporate governance issues into account. The last time I looked, Vanguard, BlackRock, the Rothschilds, you can basically find like the classic case of those who's who are the ones involved, the big, old school, old money guys. And of course, the new guys are basically inserting themselves in such a way that they now have physical control of unbelievably large amounts of the financial aspects of this nation, which they shouldn't. Mostly because they are unelected. They have absolutely no reason to be involved in the governance of these things. They have absolutely no justification for the governance of these things, other than the fact they have very, very deep pockets, and they can tell these companies, "Hey, you better deal with these things and get your numbers up there in the DEI, or you're not going to get any ASG." So essentially, what it is now is these guys have been found out. So much so that one of the guys that actually is one of the head guys at BlackRock is like, yeah, it's unfortunate that we now have to change terms. We can't use the physical descriptive terms that we used to use for investing in things. No, butthole. You got found out to be the dirtbag that you are, playing these games with socialism, trying to insert your steps therein to govern from your own aspect of things financially, and you are overstepping your authority. So, very simply put, I could say just on its face, what you see is the company's going, well, I have to show I'm trans friendly, or I'm actually somebody that doesn't mind dealing with the sound guy. You're going to do it, aren't you? Yeah, you're going to do it. So anyway, we're going to be talking about dealing with the
SYZPDQOU812. Whoa, commentary. Yeah.
Okay, we're not talking about woke commentary. We're talking about the
SYZPDQOU812.
I stopped that one. I do not need to get a copyright hit for using the X Files theme. Okay, stop that. So anyway, we're talking about the XYZ PDQ OU812s.
Look at this nasty ass. Whoa, commentary.
Anyway, does ammo friendly count for ESG? Well, that's one of the other things too, is also they're like, hey, gun company XYZ, ammo company XYZ. If you want money to function and have liquidity, you better do these things and be friendly and make rainbow colors on all your ammunition. And that's where these things are now coming from. Is these companies are now being made to kowtow to BlackRock, Vanguard, Rothschilds, all these, high money guys who go, look, if you want liquidity to function and you want these loans, you better toe the line and you better have ESG coming from your DEI scores. And your DEI scores are going to be mandated by the Human Rights Campaign. And all the Human Rights Campaign basically says is how trans friendly you are, how gay friendly you are, how XYZ PDQ, blah 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 blah, all the rest of that, the Rainbow Coalition, trying to comprise and have a controlling function there in an American business simply by using money to stop them from being able to do the things that they would normally do in their day-to-day operations. And the way that they would stop them from doing their day-to-day operations is they would deny them liquidity. Well, that says to me that you pull your money out of Vanguard, you pull your money out of BlackRock. Ron DeSantis already made a huge show about that one, and he pulled a lot of money in Florida out of BlackRock. BlackRock lost like $1 billion plus out of that one because they said, you know what, we're not leaving our pension funds in there. Screw you and the horse you rode in on. Martina Sasquatch. At least the robber barons had to worry about bombs. True. The company store and all the rest of that good times and rock and roll type of stuff. Oh, Patriot Fever. Hey, maybe the ammo identifies as trans. Maybe we should try to stop around to ask it. Excuse me, Mr. Bullet. Hello, Mr. Bullet. Mr. Bullet. 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 They're not stopping to let me know their official, XY.
XYZPDQOU812.
Sound guy, why do you keep hitting the women's scream? I do not get this, dude.
Look at this nasty ass.
Are you done? Ew. he's lapsing into strangeness again. All right. Anyway, so there's now a website that I think is very, very interesting, and you guys might want to actually check out. I'm going to grab the link and I will actually drop it into the room. And I haven't signed on to this one myself, but it's interesting. At the very least, it simply says, if you wish to be informed and you want to shop in places that don't do DEI or ESG, here's a list of companies. Oh, Patriot Fever. I hear ammo's inclusive. It doesn't care who or what it hits, what size it is, or what tube is left or type it is. Yeah, ammo's non-discriminatory. It really does. Oh no. The sound guy bring a balaclava and duct tape when he's looking for a date. I'm worried. I think that's where he got the girl scream from. He burst into the ladies' room going, and they were like, ah! Anyway, so this is the website, and it's called publicsquare.com. And they do actually have an app you can put on there. Obviously, they have Google and Apple. And they say with this, you can shop quality products, services, and exclusive discounts from value-aligned businesses you can trust. Now, I've not joined these guys, but it does sound intriguing on its face. And essentially, it could be small businesses. It could be larger businesses. And they're stating that we don't ascribe to these things. One of the pictures they actually have on the website is a gun range. So, okay, a gun range. What above that is meat. And to the right of that is a fairly cute looking female. So already I'm going, yeah, this looks pretty good. So, I haven't signed on to it. I haven't used it yet, but it is very interesting. So if you guys want to check that out at your leisure, it is public, like common spelling of public, S as in Sierra, Q as in Quebec.com. So Public Square, or Public SQ in this case, .com. Scrolly. Oh, more bad news for the ESG though, folks. I think this is very, very interesting. S&P Global, also known as a financial powerhouse in their own right. Just give me 1 second here. Got a bit of an allergy thing. Sometimes, hot liquids helps. But S&P Global, this is what's coming in from Breitbart.com, removes ESG from debt ratings. Translation, not playing your game. Not going to do it. So S&P Global removed environmental, social, and governance factors from its scoring of corporate debt as the financial industry has increasingly soured on the controversial investing scheme. Since 2021, S&P Global, the debt rating company, rated companies' exposure to various ESG factors. Payments company Visa, for example, received 2 for E and S and 3 for G. First Energy, an Ohio utility, has been charged with corruption, received a 4 score for G, S&P's lowest grade. Last week, S&P reversed course, saying that only text, not numerical scores, would comprise analysis of a company's ESG matters. ESG has become the latest vector by which large financial institutions push companies to adopt leftist positions such as anti-climate change policies, policies advocating for racial justice, and diversity requirements that they would otherwise not adopt. Translation, do what we say or you're not getting any cookies. Breitbart News has cataloged just a few of the ways that BlackRock and other asset managers have pushed publicly listed companies to adopt these leftist positions. Now, S&P Global will only judge companies' commitment to ESG based on a text narrative, not score them on a number scale. Quote, we have determined that dedicated analytical narrative paragraphs in our credit rating reports are more effective at providing detail and transparency on ESG credit factors material to our rating analysis, S&P Global wrote. Translation, your stupid little letter games don't mean squat. We're going to give it some real teeth. So that's the link for the public SQ. Like I said, if you guys don't know how to write down public SQ. So oh no, Patriot Fever, don't do it. Don't. No, you're making him oh no. I think that's when he actually showed up, and it was after. It may have been after. Well, oh no, you recorded that on the slide, dude. There is no way in the world you slipped in there and she was doing that right in front of you, like, hey, check this out. Guess what I'm showing you? Yeah, I'm gonna do this right in front of you. Ugh.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh. So he was hiding out. She went to town. Wow. Man. Patriot Fever, that's a good point. Why don't we come up with our own form of ESG, free speech, Second Amendment, no taxes? Well, the biggest contrary issue to that one is the federal government. They really, 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 really like taxes. So much so that they're still hitting you for Social Security, even though that trust fund has been gone since 1964. Yeah, it's been used as a prop spending spree for the federal government, and there is no money left in there. And then, of course, you're bringing in all the foreign nationals. They bring in their parents. They do a draw. It's not doing so good. Okay, it could be said that, well, it's not doing it. Okay, it's just not not doing it.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah. It's just yeah. It's dead duck. What are you doing? Okay, I think he's trying to say that it's now snoozing, or it's just
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay, I think he's trying to say it's a dead duck. So anyway, looking at things as it is, we find ourselves then thusly going back to the things at large. Don't start with the quacks.
You sick little monkey.
What are you doing? He gets in the duck thing, and things just get.
The name's James.
You sick little monkey.
I'll agree with you there, you sick little monkey. Anyway, so yeah, ESG is getting its butt kicked by bigger balls. Let's see. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not. This one is it's a foregone conclusion. You put a federal mandate in to try to make 64% of the driving public utilizing electric vehicles. The mandate is possible. The execution of it and making it happen is a physical impossibility. Number one, you can't make that many cars that fast. Even if you had the materials, let's just say you had scads of the materials needed to make electric vehicles, you could not make them all fast enough to justify your mandate will take place and the cars will be on the road and everybody will be driving them in that time period. But you can actually make it in such a way that the mandate falls into place and screws over everybody in the process. Let's give me 1 second here. So in the process of mandating EVs will be one of those things that you got to do it. Even though you're going to melt the electric grid, literally, you're going to just fry it. It's basically really marginal on the really seriously hot days in some areas in the United States. You start plugging in a whole bunch of cars, you've just put that thing over the tipping point so hard that you literally are just going to crack the system. It could be said, I found it very interesting. A news story came out. Some guy basically was, driving around his Tesla, I believe it was, some really, really hot day, and he went to go charge his car because the power was getting low. Lo and behold, what pops up on the display screen? Reduce power usage time. You can't charge your car. Wait until we say you can charge your car. Folks, that's how they control you. They say, oh, no, it's an electric grid emergency day. You can't drive X amount of miles unless you're dedicated, truly needing to do such thing to and from work or go shopping or something really, truly important. But you know what you can do? You can get an automated, autonomous vehicle to drive you around. And folks, I heard a news story the other day. They tried that. 10 cars went into an area in San Fran and locked up. Literally locked up. And why did they lock up? Because they went to a concert where there was a high population of everybody going, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to blah, blah, blah on my phone. I'm going to do like Instagram posts and this, that, and the other thing and Twitter and da. And they literally crashed the cell network to the point where the electric cars, the autonomous vehicles, were going, I don't know what to do. And the controller guys in the office were going, we don't know what to do. That literally is what happened. The system crashed. Now, I can tell you from personal experience, working the Otakon a few weeks ago, sometimes when there was like a heavy situation of like big autographs, and I can show you guys the picture, they had a dry erase board with like about 30 names on it of very notable Japanese animators and voice actors and all these guys involved with the anime industry. And you saw something like 3,000 to 5,000 people on that side of the room waiting in queue to get their autographs. And everybody was on their phone, boop, boop, beeping, bop, bop, booping, all the rest of that fun stuff. And the internet literally went to nothing. We had such a time, even just trying to do credit card transactions, that literally it was like, nope. Refresh the phone. Nope. Wait for it. Card approved. It literally got that bad. So that's one of the first things that goes down in infrastructure is the internet, is the cell tower networks. And oh yeah, it will be autonomous vehicles because they won't be able to call home going, I don't know what to do next. And the guy in the office is going, hey, this is what you really truly need to do next. And the car is just going, I didn't receive that message. So that's where we are with that one right there. And that's a horrendous thing. Martina Sasquatch says, lights in my place flicker 4 to 50 times a day. Yipes. Yeah, Martina Sasquatch. The grid is already, how do I say it? I got this one, sound guy. The grid is already, oh, it is suffering.
Death!
Yeah, no.
Snoo!
No. There's no snoo. It is getting squeal because it is overwhelmed in California. Well, anyway, so they got the mandate to try to pull all this crap, trying to stuff it down everybody's throat. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to do that and the other thing. Did I tell you this guy's phrase from some time ago? But Barack Obama is quoted as saying, "Leave it to Joe Biden, he will blank F-bomb things up." Yeah, I got that, Martina Sasquatch. Yeah, I got that part. But yeah, even Obama said Joe Kaka will completely jack the process up. Just give him time. So this one also coming in from Breitbart. Electric bus company Proterra, backed heavily by the Biden administration, files for bankruptcy. Now, remember, folks, this was mandated, this was populated, this was financed, this was absolutely stuffed down our throats by the federal government using your tax dollars. Remember that one. You paid for this boondoggle. Is it like another Solyndra? Yeah. Is it like these, windmills that basically cost so much money and so much resources to build and never ever return the power input of which it took to actually manufacture them? Yeah. Very, very close in component therein. So anyway, Proterra, an electric bus company, received heavy backing from President Joe Kaka's administration, filed for bankruptcy on Monday. The Burlingame, California-based EV company has been a source of controversy for the Biden administration because Biden Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm hyped the company in her official capacity, despite the fact she had previously served on Proterra's board and held over $1 million worth of stock in the company, even after she was confirmed as the head of the Biden Energy Department. Oh, no, we'll be completely above board. There'll be absolutely no corruption in a Democrat administration. Patriot Fever, Fempooter reminds me, Curry Ramen and Mrs. Patriot still no snoo. Really not advised for anniversary or B-Day dinners. Oh, jeez. I'm wondering why that's going on. Hey, honey, you want to get a little romance in? Oh, sorry. Honey, I want to see some, stuff. Hey, baby doll, give me some of that lovin'. I tend to think that that's going to be a case that she's just going to look at you and go, take it out back, Junior. Somebody light a match. Anyway, so yeah, this chick obviously was involved. It's been heavily mandated, heavily financed. Of course, government graft propping this thing up. And it is bad juju. So Biden heavily promoted Proterra throughout his presidency, at one point saying the company would help America, quote unquote, own the future if he kept it on track. 3 months into his presidency, held a virtual tour of the electric bus company's South Carolina factory to promote his $1.9 trillion infrastructure plan. Okay, anytime the government says infrastructure, that is an open license to spend. Did they fix the problem? No. The government makes the problem, shows you the problem, says it is a problem, then says we're the only guys that can fix the problem. Remember that. Less government is better government because they can't screw with things that they don't have control of. Just give me 1 second here. I hope more people become way more libertarian in their thinking. See the government as not the fix, but definitely the problem when you make it too big. And you have too many guys with too many fingers and too many pies. It just gets to be such a large elephant that doesn't really know how to get out of its own way because it's trying to roller skate on ice on greasy surfaces uphill. Right now we're running way behind China, but you guys are getting us in the game, Biden said during the virtual tour. We're going to end up owning the future, I think, if we keep on doing what we're doing. Okay. China has some of the worst emissions on the planet. They have some of the worst situations of just pollution anywhere on the planet. The crap that they spew out of their unfiltered factories is like stuff that we used to do back in like turn of the century. Okay? If you look at the way that we run a factory or a gas plant or, any kind of generation of anything nowadays, there's something called scrubbers. So literally the exhaust is going up the stack and they're literally filtering out the particulate matter by spraying water onto the exhaust. They do that also on cruise ships, and they literally take all the particulate matter, the soot, all the rest of that crud that's going up the tailpipe. They'll take all that, they'll package it, they'll get back on shore, and they'll do some disposal process with it. So it's not going into the atmosphere. Now, I can tell you for a fact, running around on a cruise ship, you see basically what looks like, kind of like a 1930s plume of stuff coming out the exhaust, but it's mostly water vapor. It's actually very, very clean for the amount of diesel fuel that most of your big cruise ships burn. It's way cleaner than the stuff on land. And it's just simply that, that's just how they run things. But the process they're in is we're running way cleaner than China ever wishes it could. In fact, there's some places in China that are so heavily polluted, it's just almost unrepairable. But yet the people live there because, well, that's where they live and that's what they're dealing with because they're trying to make the money because they're living in a communist society. And the communist society doesn't care because they just want to make money and make the company more successful because they own a chunk of it. Every company in China is owned by the government. Never forget that. Scrolly. This one I find kind of disgusting, but supposedly because we're in the South China Seas, China thinks it's perfectly cool to have troop operations near Alaska. Well, slight problem. They're also probably doing it near some of our bases around that area, also known as the DEW line or the Distant Early Warning System, that lets us know if anything's coming over the polar ice cap at us. There's a bunch more stuff going on there. And the Chinese are playing games. Playing it fast and loose. They don't like the fact that basically we got subs parked off their back door anytime we can zap their asses. This one, I think, is absolutely emblematic of what happens when you have liberals running the asylum who think they know what they're talking about, but talking about New York City. No, it's worse than that. Okay, we're talking about extreme New York type of stuff. I mean, it is beyond the pale. Just beyond the pale. No, it's worse than that. Okay, we're talking New York City and the fact that they had to spend or have spent $12 billion on being a sanctuary city. That's right. They just pooped that money away and they're complaining long and loud about it. But you know what? They still keep doing it. So they're doing it to themselves. Also growing in from Breitbart, New Yorkers to spend $12 billion on illegal immigration, triple the cost previously projected. You know what? I really, truly love when politicians do this, money game. Well, we project it's only going to cost X, Y, Z. And then you see the final run, and it's like the number so far outstrips whatever they based it in reality. And they just go, whoops, 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 oops. Well, we had unprojected expenditures that, we didn't expect was going to happen. Yeah. Patriot, get diapers ready for your talk, NYC. Yeah, exactly. Patriot fever. Ever notice how our debt load never needs infrastructure improvements? Yeah. Interesting how that happens. Give me 1 second here. Martina Sasquatch, you're gonna have to break that down unless you're talking about like states or I don't know what you mean by that acronym. I don't know what that means. But anyway, but yeah, these guys are gonna put out tons of cash, and it is ridiculous with the amount of money these guys are rolling out the door, and it just keeps going up. I mean, you look at for they'll spend 3.6 billion, 4.7 billion in 24, and 6.1 billion in 25. But they keep asking, and they say, "Hey, we're a sanctuary city." Yeah. Early warning radar is called PayPal. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Well, that's one of the other things about the Chinese too, is they're buying quote unquote unfarmable farmland next to military bases out in the middle of Nowheresville. Yeah. Bad juju. Martina Sasquatch. Yeah, we had a family member as Coast Guard. He was based up there in Alaska too. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on up there that I'm not even going to get into. Scrolly. This one is how you handle these screaming memeites going, well, you people can't tell me what to do because I know because I'm a teacher or I'm a school administrator or I know better than you for what's going on with your children and you can't stop me. This one coming in from PatriotJournal.com. After parents fight back against a woke librarian, his career takes a sudden turn. As we've seen again and again, there's nothing off limits for the left's agenda. Liberals have infiltrated every corner of American society and pushed their woke ideology down our throats. From public schools to video games, there's nothing that hasn't been tainted by their Marxist views. That includes public libraries where children daily visit to read and learn. In one swing state, a public library director shocked parents. She was stocking the shelves with books for children that was outraging the communities. It took parents speaking up and pushing back, calling for this library to be funded, but now it looks like this director is facing the music. Coming in from Daily Wire, the director of Virginia Public Library has resigned following demands from outraged parents that the library be defunded over quote-unquote pornographic, end quote, children's books. On June 6th, hundreds of parents and others packed into a Warren County Board of Supervisors meeting to protest their controversial children's books. This is not literature. This is smut, one Front Royal dad told the board after reading an excerpt about anal sex from a book called This Book is Gay. Whoa, a coalition of parents hit back after learning the public library is stocking sexually themed books for their children. Hundreds of parents even stormed the meeting in June, demanding the library be defunded over these books. The backlash was fierce. Too fierce for the Board of Supervisors to ignore. An emergency meeting was held by Samuel's Public Library Board of Trustees, and Director Michelle Ross resigned immediately. Folks, this is how you handle this woke agenda stuff. You pull open the curtain, and you see the roaches going, light! And they run. I love those videos where you have like the guy who's a pastor, the black gentleman, and he's like, well, I'm going to basically read you an excerpt from this book here. And they're like, okay, pastor, go ahead. And he's reading like some very overt sexual stuff. And they're like, sir, stop, sir. You can't read that here. And he goes, well, why not? You've given these books to our children. You say it's perfectly okay for our children to read this stuff. So why is there a problem that I'm currently reading this in a public forum where you have to answer for those approvals that you've given for our children to read these pieces of media that you've supplied to them? I thought it was absolutely on point, perfect. And they were like, kirking out completely. It was epic to watch. Musket wadding and diaper padding. Yeah. Some of the comments in the chat I can't take out, unfortunately, but they're good. So if you see this video in review and you click all comments, you can see exactly what we're talking about at the proper timestamps to see the references they're in. Okay. Scrolly. Speaking of woke agenda, show us your ass and we'll slap it like a $2 hoe. Disney is losing its respective butt. Coming in from truthpress.com, Disney posts a loss of $460 million in the second quarter as subscriptions to Disney Plus fall 7.4%. Walt Disney's raising the prices of its streaming services, Disney Plus and Hulu, by as much as 27% after a series of woke film remakes disappointed the box office and visits to the Walt Disney World in Florida declined amid the company's war with Governor Ron DeSantis. Okay, you guys are saying all this stuff that people don't want their kids to be exposed to, and you're making it blatantly obvious that really you don't want their money. So people go, you know what? Universal's down the street. They're not doing it. I'll go to Universal, or I'll go to Dollywood, or I'll go to some other places. You don't need to go to Disney and spend $120 a day for ticket prices, fly down there costing X amount more, renting a car for X amount more, all the rest of that fun stuff you're doing for everything else. The housing down there is insanely expensive. So you're paying for all this stuff to be exposed to woke liberal agenda, socialism, and all the rest of that falderall, and you're enabling them in the process. Most people aren't doing it. They're just going, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Then they start seeing the woke agenda stuff on Disney Plus, and they go, you know what? I really don't need Disney Plus as a streaming service, and they're duffing it. So customers of Disney Plus see the monthly cost for ad-free service rise by 27% from $11 to $14. Hulu prices ad-free rise 20% to $18. Lowest price plans, Disney and Hulu with ads, will remain at $8 a month. Okay, if I'm paying you to watch your stuff, you should not be throwing ads at me. And if you do throw ads at me, guess what? I will use an ad blocker. Like currently on my computer right now, I've got 4 or 5 distinct apps running on my Chrome browser right now as ad blockers. Don't track me and all the rest of that fun stuff, because I don't like to be inundated with more chaff telling me about buying crap that I really truly don't. Well, you're supporting the blah 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 blah. Dickhead, if I'm throwing you that kind of cash per month, I've already justified my existence to stream your stuff. I'm really not costing you much money to stream your stuff to my house. As a matter of fact, I'm paying to stream your stuff. I'm paying for the service to stream your stuff. I'm paying taxes on all these things to stream your stuff. You putting ads on top of it is the final insult for me to go, you know what? I don't need your services. Bye. Patriot Fever. Walt Disney rises from the grave and does what to Disney leadership. Wrong answers only. Hang on a sec. I got just the thing for you. Now that one I am not taking out of the room. Hang on a second here. I gotta clear up a typo. There we go. I'm not taking that one out of the chat room either. I'll let those guys snicker over that one. But anyway, so they're kicking the prices up because they've lost $800 million on the last 4 major releases. Why? Because they're putting crap out that nobody wants to watch. Oh yeah, here's Snow White. Snow White's not Snow White because Snow White now is a Latina. We'll put out this other stuff because we want to basically have like a gay couple in a former Pixar thing. Oh, we'll put XYZ PDQ type stuff in places where it really is not justified. Oh yeah, because little kids really need to know about XYZ PDQ and why so and so has 2 mothers or 2 fathers or all the rest of the stuff that little kids really just don't get into because it's just literally over their heads. It's chaff, it's background noise. It doesn't mean anything to them. Wow, talk about Frozen. Okay, why is it I'm now hearing Frank Zappa rattling in the back of my head? Watch out where those huskies go. Don't you eat the yellow. Good stuff. This one I found exceedingly interesting. Remember how I've always told you that pretty much politicians are just corruptible and communists are just even more corrupt? Yeah. Well, it's come out that, Mr. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has been busted funneling $200,000 in campaign cash to his family's nonprofit organization. That's right, his wife's nonprofit organization, the Sanders Institute. As found in records of the Federal Election Commission, the campaign made 2 payments of $100,000 each in January and March, according to Fox News Digital. These are the most significant payments from the Sanders campaign of any group to the election cycle. Jane O'Meara Sanders, the senator's wife, and David Driscoll, his stepson, co-founded the Sanders Institute in 2017. Okay, now you know the way politicians work. They make a contribution to something, and in the process, or there's somebody makes a contribution to something, then that whatever it is that took the contribution or got the money makes a contribution to the political campaign of the politician. Then the politician basically runs, he doesn't win, and he's able to do with that money ever so much that he wishes to, and he can disperse the funds however he wants. But it looks sketch when you start playing that inside the beltway thing inside your own household. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that a bit there, Patriot Fever. But anyway, so basically, dude is doing the stuff, and it's been seen that he's playing dirty. Showed that the nonprofit burnt nearly 40% of the donations on salaries while appearing to conduct minimal work and having very few identifiable accomplishments. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Excuse me, I'm getting an attitude for the dog. Down. He's doing his growl and everything that goes by. Let's see. Scroll. I don't know if you guys caught up with this one or not, but if you see the video, oh my. Okay, somebody did not do good audio editing, okay? But this one coming to RepublicanDaily.com. There's a video of Mike Pence tanking up his car, going viral about the price of fuel and whatnot. Well, the funny thing about it is, you know, and I know, you put your credit card in the gas pump, you do some other means of payment, you pull the handle out, you stick it to your gas tank, and it's going bink, bink, and it's flashing however how many octane grades are available. Bink. What do you want, man? Do you want regular, mid-grade, or highest test? You know, take your pick. The whole quote-unquote campaign commercial, the gas pump is going bink. Hey, bink. Hello, bink. And dude is just like oblivious going, I really don't pump gas, so I'm immune to this noise. Yeah, it's just another case of a politician doing something in real life that they never actually really truly do. Pence, I didn't like him from the outset, and I really, really don't like him now. He's a creepy Charlie Brown looking rhino that I want absolutely nothing to do with. He is just bad juju. Just give me 1 second here. But yeah, him trying to pump gas. Yikes. This one is very, very emblematic of how things work in DC. So supposedly the January 6th committee supposedly had Donald Trump dead to rights, and it found out that, well, everything that they tried to do really was not all that much of a big deal. And trying to insert the fact that Trump was saying, hey, you know, be peaceful, don't create mayhem, you know, don't fight with the cops are cool, pretty much made the January 6th committee look bad. So what did they do? Well, they destroyed the records, they destroyed the videos, and they denied Trump's rights to face his accuser and be exonerated by evidence showing that. So the January 6th committee, and this one coming in from Breitbart.com, defied a demand last year by incoming Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, who I'm really not impressed with, really, that it preserve all of its records, evidence, and transcripts, and destroyed much of what it's collected over more of a year of an investigation. And the thing about it is all of these guys are not getting, oh, hi, Orange. They're not getting zapped. I have an orange on me. Yes, this is Mr. Orange Kitty. Yes, he's our old guy. I've had him since 2010. Yeah, like October 2010. Just give me orange. I'm doing stuff. Bye-bye. Anyway, the thing about it is by denying him these records, they said, well, see how guilty it is. It's the seriousness of the charge. There's no way in the world that he can be seen as anything but guilty. Well, assholes, if you took the information that basically exonerated him and you destroyed it, yeah, obviously he's going to look guilty no matter what, because there's nothing really to show that he didn't do anything illegal. You pieces of monkey puke are disreputable pieces of crap. They really need to be unceremoniously just removed from every committee that they have anything to do with, and they need to be slammed in the highest level. I mean, if you can't remove them literally from the House or, you know, the Senate positions that they hold, you really need to just completely screw up their career path to the point where they really just kind of sit around and don't do a dang thing. That's what needs to have happen to these Congress critters that play these stupid little games. You need to basically make their lives just boring. They can't do anything. You know, they're in the minority and they got absolutely no voice other than the once in a million chance that they actually put something out there that, you know, the news media is just going, oh, you're so brave. Oh, you're so courageous. You really took those Republicans to task when you just complained long and loud for 15 minutes straight. It was amazing to behold you complaining for so long. You are that guy. To which it really means not much. You're complaining long and loud and you're saying stuff that goes on record, but when it comes right down to it, you're putting padding in the books for books that are going on shelves that probably aren't ever going to be read again. Why? Because you're just talking. You're not even like bringing anything to the table. You're just complaining. Ugh. I hope that they become completely about as irrelevant as possible for the remainder of their political careers. That is the only justification to have these guys doing nothing but just sitting around and just what? Yeah. Okay. Oh, sitting around, farting around for the rest of their careers. Right. Right. Oh, I'm going to sit in here and tell you guys the error of the Republicans, how bad they are, how many times I have to deal with the fact that they're in the room with me. Yeah, I got it, sound guy. Oh, you're giving me the fanfare because I got the fact you keep playing fart noises? Thanks. Sometimes I almost want to take the buttons away from them. I really do. Oh, absolutely, Patriot Fever. Hypothetically. Fully hypothetically. Scroll. I don't know if you guys caught up in this one or not, but this one kind of tickles me more than a little bit. But the entertainment industry really kind of basically, how would I say this without saying this? How would I say? I got this one, sound guy. How would I say this without saying this? Would it be?
Let's get ready to.
No, it's more than that. Okay. Coming in from Breitbart.com, the Hollywood strike has cost California economy $3 billion in the first 100 days of the strikes.
Come on, squeal. But I pooped from there.
No, that should not be ding, okay?
Death! By Snoo!
Okay, that should not be death by snoo at all, okay? No. No, stop.
Douchebags.
Okay, I'll give you. Oh my! Verily, he doesn't like actors.
Oh my.
Okay, apparently he does not like actors, and he's not crazy about California. Okay, on that one, I kind of agree with you a little bit, but I think what has happened here is the entertainment industry pretty much knocked on the door and told California, "You're gonna really suffer in this one."
Sarah Connor.
Yes.
Reload.
You
Anyway, so let me get into the news story here. Who's the biggest loser in the ongoing Hollywood labor strikes? Answer appears to be the people of California, with one estimate put in the local economy losses at $3 billion in the past 100 days, a figure that's almost certain to skyrocket as historic strikes drag on with no end in sight. I really need to touch base with my brother. You see, the funny thing is, my brother is actually an actor out in California. And yeah, he's done some TV, he's done some movie roles, and he's kind of, earning his bones, as it were. And I really should drop him a line and say, hey, dude, is there really anything going out there now, or is everything completely fakaka duty because you're not seeing much acting roles? I really need to touch base with him and see what's going on. The man on the street, as it were, where it's just like you're walking around going, oh man, there's not much going on here. This place is just
You asshole.
Are you done? Anyway, so basically that's where we could find ourselves here with that one. And just They always seem to keep doing it to themselves better and better and better and better. But I think it's really interesting that you had in like the first time in like 60 years was like you had the actors and the writers. So basically, that's both sides of the equation. Everybody shut down on that one. There is nothing going on. But, I heard like some guy going on about like, well, I'll tell you about like all the old good movies to watch. And it's like, you know what? You don't have to tell me anything, dude. I know the old good movies to watch. So potentially I just simply go, watch that, watch this, watch this. I mean, I think the most recent movie I watched is only because we have Disney Plus was I literally waited for it to come out with the latest Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that's the last thing I've actually watched on Disney Plus in like a really, really, long time. I was really waiting for that to come out. Other than that, I've been kind of following Star Trek Discovery. Oh no, sorry. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, not Discovery. Discovery is like, yeah. Discovery is so woke, it's disgusting. But like Strange New Worlds kind of is like a take on the TOS, the original series. Obviously, Captain Pike in place of Captain Kirk. Similar timelines. Obviously, it's kind of very J.J. Abrams with the interior of the ships. They're really modernistic. They don't look 60s in the slightest. I mean, they look really J.J. Abrams without all the lens flare. But anyway, so looking at that, it's kind of interesting to see, Hollywood kind of screwing themselves. Picture fever. I just find something with gratuitous firearms firing like westerns, war movies, and old Star Wars. Yeah, I mean it's hard to beat an old World War II movie. Those are just cool. The old black and white war movies, Gary Cooper and yeah, all that good stuff. I'm a fan. It's good stuff. Let's see. Scrolly. This one I think is very, very interesting. They keep going on about, how much, Biden's not involved with, Hunter stuff and whatnot. Slight problem. An old picture's uncovered, a picture of Joe Kaka on Air Force 2. Stefanik, the House Republican conference chair, said it was a quote-unquote damning picture who shows Biden, who was vice president at the time, with an advisor who was linked to Hunter's Biden's business, according to Fox News. So, the photos from Biden's 2015 trip to the Ukraine shows him with Amos Hochstein, who's currently Biden's special presidential coordinator. According to Stefanik, Hochstein was communicating with Hunter Biden during the time period while Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company. Oopsie. Yeah, that's right. Kaka's got a little bit of a problem because, well, it could be that it might be a little squishy. Yeah, just a little. Yeah, just a little squishy. Are you done? Jeez, man, it's like fights with you. I have no idea where he's going with that one, folks. Not at all. Anyway, so that's coming out. It's very interesting, and it's proving out that, well, he's full of it. Man. Not gonna talk about that one. Not gonna talk about that one. Not gonna talk about that one. Got another EV story I'm not gonna bother with. This one, I you know what? I'm gonna talk about this one. This one is very, very, very interesting. And I might have to go to the Wayback Machine for some older sound effects on this one. I got this one, sound guy. We're going to be talking about, of all things, talking about the... we're not talking about the... Nope. And we don't have to worry about the... Nope, because those fuckers can't stop us from talking about those things that we need to talk about. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that truthpress.com and Facebook, YouTube, Google, Twitter. All these guys cannot deny the science now. So, coming in from truthpress.com, doctors can now prescribe ivermectin for COVID. FDA lawyer says doctors are free to prescribe ivermectin to treat COVID-19. A lawyer representing the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said this week. The FDA explicitly recognizes doctors do have the authority to prescribe ivermectin to treat COVID. Ashley Chung-Honold, a Department of Justice lawyer representing the FDA, said during oral arguments on August 8th in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. The government is defending the FDA's reported exhortations to people to not take ivermectin for COVID-19, including a post that said, quote unquote, stop it. The case was brought by three doctors who alleged the FDA unlawfully interfered with the practice of medicine with the statements. A federal judge dismissed the case in 2022, prompting an appeal. Well, if they won the appeal, that means they now can prescribe ivermectin for, well, and I don't have to worry about
Fact check.
no, you dirty little lying fuckers. That stuff is not going to fly any longer because we all know is bad juju and does not work. And if you do, you might have to worry about your own case of
Fact check.
of cardosis, or was it cardiodosis, or all kinds of other bad stuff happening. You see people crapping out, going, "Oh, I don't feel so good. I think I'm cucked." Yeah, you are cucked because you took that stuff and yeah, you went the wrong way with the so you are screwed, my friend, and that does not require
Fact check.
nope. You are fucked. Anyway, scrolling. So we knew it. And they just didn't like the fact that, well, we knew it, and they didn't like the fact that we knew it. So fact check that one. I do have one statement to make about Megan Rapone or Rapinoe or whatever her name is. Screw you. Glad you lost. You are a piece of monkey puke. I am glad you lost. Scrolly. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Wound up exactly at 10 o'clock. How cool is that? All right, folks, I'm going to appreciate your time. You guys spent with me, all good stuff like that there. Let me get myself my proper statement there in here. So, hey, there it is. Okay, I got it. Cool. All right, so I'm going to break up this one, folks. Eat good, as always, you love it. Hang out with me on a Tuesday. I appreciate your kind attention. You guys have many other things to do, but you hung out with me, so I will see you guys next week. Good stuff like that there. If something else pops up, I'll pop up another video, but usually I've been kind of doing the weekly thing, so I'll catch you guys later. I am going to go remotely because I will be out of town, so I may or may not be doing one next week. So we'll see how that works, okay? So I guess I'll talk to you guys later, and have a good one. Good stuff like that there. Gold star for attendance. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll break off with this one. Equal Thunder as always, you know you love it. I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. See you guys.